first thing he says is, what are you doing to contribute to your pain? And I heard that, and those were, for me, those were fighting words. I was like, dude, in my head. I didn't say it out loud, but I thought it. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? How could you possibly say that in this room of all places? And what the hell do you know about chronic pain anyway? Clearly, you've never had it. I mean, I just, whoosh, my inner rebel and my inner defender was fully on, right?
Yeah.
But I did a like a double take in the middle of all that, and I said, wait a minute. Did he just imply that I have some role in my own pain experience? Right? What are you doing to contribute to your pain? That has an answer in it. That has an assumption
Yeah.
that another possibility that I hadn't considered. And that stopped me in my tracks. And I'm telling you, he had my attention from that minute on. I was like, okay, what else you got? And the next thing he said was, don't judge the moment. And then my inner rebel came up again. And I was like, inside of my head, I'm like, I'm just sitting here minding my own business. I'm not judging anything. Right. But then again, I was like, wait a minute. He's talking about my pain. I've been judging my pain as bad my whole life. And that right there is of one way I was contributing to my own pain experience, was my judgment that it was bad.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah. That's amazing. It's profound how just the right question at the right time can be so jarring and at the same time helpful and healing.
That's right. And I
So
had the honesty, I had the humility, because I was so desperate at that point to actually listen. Right? Like, I'm here, like, what you got? Right?
yes, yes.
Oh my Lord. So
Yeah.
those were, I finally found a doctor who understood the nature of chronic pain, being that he understood that it was a whole body experience, that we had some responsibility for our experience, that we were he was a Qigong healer, and he started in Kung Fu when he was 6, and he was my age. So he had been on his own journey, not just Western medicine, but this Eastern approach as well. And he really understood the whole body system. So um, that was a huge blessing in my life. And that program was only there for 3 years, and he passed away in 2016. But he left a book.
Mhm.
Book's called the way. It's called Conquer Chronic Pain: An Innovative Mind Body Approach, which you can get on Amazon. And it's a kind of a doctory. It's kind of a it's a little bit in doctor terms rather than in patient terms, but it's a great breakdown of chronic pain, and there are exercises at the back of the book. I've done them, and they're very powerful. And Peter wrote his book, and then I wrote my book, and they're really a great pair, because mine talks about the kind of what is chronic pain, how does it show up in a patient, like, so it was from my side rather than the doctory side. So it's a great set to put together, to really and it's not just for patients, but for anybody that's working with people with chronic pain, or has a family member, doctors, nurses, all that. This is a great little combination, these two books, to lay out the landscape and bring solutions.
Awesome, awesome. We'll definitely have to put that information in the show notes also so people can go check out that book by Peter Prescott, as well as your book, of course. So you go through this 12-day detox, you go through this process with Peter, and then where did we go to from there?
Well, I was there for 52 days. It was the most remarkable thing. I walked in there with 40 years of chronic pain, and I walked out 52 days later with no pain. Remember, he never said that that would happen. He just said he could help me reset my stress response, and he did. So that was profound. But what was interesting was when I got out, I still felt the momentum of the old stress pattern in my system, the thing that had led to the chronic pain in the first place. So stress, anybody listening to this that lives in the Western world knows what a stress pattern is. And we can get addicted to it. And it's just kind of like I'm always looking for the next moment, right? I'm just